When we think about spiritual preparation, often we want to start by diving into Scripture and reading His Word. But we encourage you to connect with team members first. Often you really don't know your team members well. So let's start with combining the hey, how's it going, and hey, what you're doing with the study of Scripture. In our manual, we've provided a couple different books of the Bible with specific Scripture references in order to help guide that discussion and time of connection. So don't skip by it. Take note to stop and really emphasize the importance of connection.
So after you've connected, pause the video, do whatever you have to do after you've connected with each other as a team. Then move towards discussing the articles that you should have read before you came here. You probably had a meeting deciding who was going on your trip, where you're going to go, what was going to at least sort of happen generally. So after you have read this article, then make sure that you discuss it as a team. It's really important to discuss, not to teach. So if you've got one person that wants to just teach the whole thing to you, somebody poke them, somebody hit them. It's important to take time for everybody to engage in the material. Take time to talk about this spiritual preparation and ask each other questions.
Yeah, in the theme of teamwork and working together, we really want to emphasize the importance of this discussion component. I think that as I've gone on trips and as I've trained folks to go and been a part of teams that are going, the discussion and feeling as though I'm a part of that process was one of the most important things that we could do during this time.
Totally.
So
step one of spiritual preparation is to purify your heart. Talk together as a team about what it means for you personally, not just what it means for people in general, but what does it mean for you to purify your heart before you go on this trip. You don't need to confess your deepest, darkest sins to one another, but do take time to talk about how can my heart be prepared for a trip. It's not just a vacation. It's not just getting on a plane and going over and shaking some kids' hands. This is a powerful spiritual experience that your heart needs to be prepared for. Also talk about step 2, sanctifying your body. It's stressful on our physical bodies to take a trip like this. Whether you're going to Africa or Asia or wherever you're going, it's stressful on your body. So take time now to start preparing your body for your trip.
I think that one is often overlooked. The need for exercise before and vitamins, and more often as we're talking about spiritual preparation, we forget about the physical. So one of the things that we can do, step 3, is to simplify your life. We really need to eliminate some distractions. One of those major distractions can be debt. So as you think about taking your trip, hopefully you've heeded the advice from previous lessons and have started months in advance, and you're able to start to take care of some of the factors that are involved in your life that are complicating things. Another step 4 is to fortify your faith. Once you've connected with people in your group and you've started to get a handle on your life and are starting to move forward in those other areas, fortify your faith. Study the Bible. Be involved in a daily devotion. Read Christian books. Write out your testimony. And really get involved in a small group. Your group is a great opportunity to connect with people, but it's important that you also be a part of a small group. You know, 1 Thessalonians 5:11 says, encourage one another and build each other up. And as we think about the preparation for going on an international or global trip, it's really important not to forget that.
You may be thinking this is a lot to learn and a lot to apply all at once. Well, take time to apply what you already know. There is so much that you already know, so much that you have already learned and experienced that is important to apply to your trip. So prepare your heart and your soul and your mind and apply the things that you already know. You'll see after those steps, there's a list of a bunch of things that we suggest that you commit yourselves to. If you're studying this with a group or a team, take a moment to read through these things out loud together. There's power in reading through things out loud as a team. So take a moment to read through all of these as a team.
maybe even as a team, as you're reading through that, you can commit to doing some of those things, both corporately and individually, as you prepare spiritually for your trip.